Man, you two never fucking miss. What the fuck is up? I'm accurate. This is our 1 million subscriber special. I'm like Kai Cenat now. You should have heard. Like everyone online's been like, "Yo, Vlade, when are you gonna make this Doom tier list?" Everyone's been dying for this. Come on now. Bear with me just a second, guys. Why do I sound low? Oh no, what happened? Okay. Think think the mic is doing all right. Made the screen a little bigger. I didn't really need to show my name. All good. How's it going tonight? It's going all right. Going all right. Just another Friday. Just another Friday. Not your average one though. Again, 1 million subscribers. I'm kidding. It'd actually be so funny if I did get popular somehow. And I feel like I should just skip my 1 million subscriber now, like when I hit it on YouTube. And when people wonder where the video's at, I'm just gonna refer to this video. 100,000 subs. What? It was supposed to say 1 million. No, because all my posts online say 1 million. Now what I should do is manipulate the system. I'm gonna manipulate everybody, so everything is gonna say a different number. I already posted on Blue Sky and Twitter, so they'll say 1 million, but on TikTok and Instagram, I gotta put like one saying 10,000 and one saying like 1 billion. Bear with me. I'm almost done. 1 billion subs would go crazy. Has anyone reached 1 billion? No, right? I still think like the highest is like that one Indian media account, right? Almost as famous as Michael Jackson in 2009. Hell yeah, dude, that's Vlade. We've been building this brand since 1999. Uh, I'm just gonna change it to 1 million now. Everyone, not that it matters, but if anyone comes in chat, we gotta just manipulate them into saying I have so many followers. All of my subscribers are on OnlyFans. If you guys want to see my continuous Doom gameplay, it's just something like really fucked up. Like I'm instead of my face cam, it's just like my feet cam, and I'm still just playing Doom, but I'm still just as bad at that game. Like Yelp Premium review followers. I gotta do this on like daily motion. Like all my Daily Motion subscribers. All right, hold on. Sorry, I keep getting a little sidetracked. I'm almost done. I promise. Okay, just gotta post in Discord now. Why isn't it putting a link? No, whatever. It's fine. Okay. My MySpace followers? Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck, what's another one? Um, oh fuck. Roblox account followers would go insane. All right, 1 second. All right. Put a little music. I like headphones are being so weird. I wouldn't be surprised if these are kind of giving out. Whoa, that's pretty fucking loud. Nothing. Oh, wait, actually? Hold on. Is there I should do this one. All right. we're gonna blast that. I got the this reminds me of what Ark did yesterday with the Luigi jump scare. I mean, it shouldn't take an hour though. Because we already got rid of like half the tier list. Hot take, we are keeping Doom 3 on here only because I have played this, but I'm going off my base knowledge of when I played this on the Xbox 360. Okay. Um, should we cut the tiers down? Oh, what the fuck? Why won't it let me switch? Just too many tiers. Like I'm thinking like top tier. Um. Oh, it's fine. Okay. I feel like I might not use all of them. Well, let's try it. Let's try it. I'll change the tiers after if I need to. Or no, no, no. Instead of S tier, we're gonna have Doom. Like, what is actually definitive Doom? I think to start off, okay. So I wanted to start with the old games, but I was thinking in my head earlier. I already had an answer about which one was gonna be mid, just because I feel like this game does better than some of the games I'm gonna have on this list. But I genuinely feel like this is like, as it's not even a bad game. Like when I say it's mid, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that this was the game that I feel like future games improved upon, but also some of the old stuff was better than the Doom. Than Doom. That's the thing. Like I don't mean to say it's mid. I just think when you compare it to the other games, it's like a good starting point. That's what I'm trying to say. I feel like as for there it is. I feel like this one was really good. Like, okay, hold on. I feel like I should start off with saying like, this is my first like trying to do a tier list. It's not that most of these games I feel like I did enjoy. I don't think there was definitely some moments where I had a hard time, but I wouldn't say like it ruined my gameplay completely. I would say this game was my first entry, but again, I technically played Doom 3. So I'm comfortable putting it here because I feel like the game, again, the gameplay was just good enough for Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages to improve upon. But I feel like where I enjoyed the other games more were like its mobility and what should I say? Honestly, the weapon gameplay as well. I think one of the hardest challenges I had when trying to play the other games was like trying not to play it like Doom 2016. And I feel like that game, even compared to some of the older ones, one of my downsides was I thought I liked it, but I feel like Doom 2016 tries to get you so invested in like not swapping your weapons as much. And I feel like eventually when you get to the point where you get like the Gauss cannon and shotgun, it kind of, in my opinion, like mitigates a lot of the experience from there, even though it is still fun. But again, there's when you look at like the future gunplay, I get it's kind of hard to compare because they were just trying with this one. It's been like years since they made a Doom title. I feel like when you go back and play it, I feel like you're gonna. What do you mean slow weapon swapping? I don't. Did I say slow weapon swapping? I didn't mean to say that. What I meant is just like, are you asking me? Is that what I mean? Really? I feel like Dark Ages had the weapon swapping way better. And it wasn't that I even noticed because I feel like if that is the case, I feel like Doom the Dark Ages still did better because there was a lot more you could do in the meantime between swapping weapons. Like having your saw shield out, you could be having the perks from your shield. Like I feel like Dark Ages just did it better. Unk's Dementia's gotten worse. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. I feel like Eternal and Dark Ages improved upon what Doom weapon system, the weapon variety, and the overall momentum of the gameplay. And that's where I feel like Doom is mid compared to the other games because I feel like again, when I played the other games, I feel like they all improved upon it. Already off the hot take with this one. I think what else? I think Doom 3. I didn't beat it. I know I didn't beat it. Hold on. You know what? This one's going to get a different tier too. The Doom movie was better. The Doom movie was better than Doom 3. I tried to watch a retrospective to like see if like Doom 3 would get any more hype. No. As for like playing on the Xbox, I remember Doom 3 when I started the marathon. It was just such a vague fuck. Doom sound effect's gonna kill me. I feel like it was such a vague fucking thought in my mind. And despite, again, me not getting through, I think I got like 40% through the game. No, I think I said like 20, right? I forget how much. This Dementia's really getting to me. But like, from what I played, it just was not good. I really don't have any much more critique other than that. Doom 3, you will not be missed. I again would prefer to watch The Rock be the Doom guy. And we should have arguably gotten a Doom video game or a movie video game. Game gets so much better after halfway, to be fair. Okay. What else do we got here? Wait, is this the ultra levels? I think it is. Okay, because I didn't play the ultra levels. I kind of wish it just would have taken me so long. I kind of wish I got to these other ones because I feel like I could have given more insight. I don't know which one. Oh, and I just realized Doom the Dark Ages is not here. What? Hold on. Why is it not showing up? Sorry, getting 2 more things set up here. As I said I was gonna do this and I totally forgot. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Let's just try and get a little more variety. Because more run and gun, there's always multiplayer. Back to GameStop earlier, they brought back the retro consoles and games finally. Dude, it makes me sad that they made the fucking PS4 and Xbox One retro consoles. Like, I get it, but like, man. Like, dude, that was like all high school. Yeah, they made those retro. I swear GameStop made this an announcement. Am I wrong? Sorry, we'll do this. PS3 isn't even retro? Okay, I could be wrong. Maybe I just took that at face value. Oh, well, there's that video. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe there's hope. Alright, get back to it though. Okay. They had a refurbished DS for $260. Suck my dick and balls, dude. GameStop is ass if they're doing that. For the gamers, though, am I right? For the fucking gamers. Okay, back to the Doom tier list, though. Boy, I realize we can full screen. Oh my god. Innovative technology. Okay, so I decided that because of how long Ancient Gods 1 and 2 took me, I'm putting them as separate games. There it is. I feel like there's gonna be no C tiers. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing to you guys. I guess we should just start with the lowest, right? I might actually have to pull up some videos. Because I feel like, yeah, my dementia is getting to me. Dude, Doom 64 gameplay. We only get to here. Alright, so Doom 64 will be next. It's kind of crazy because I do actually like this game. I feel like I like this game a lot more than people. D? I don't know about that, Chief. It's actually gonna be in the Doom tier. No, I'm kidding. I feel like the only thing that was mostly bad about this game was the final boss, which I know says a lot, but also, what's it called? Also the music. I don't know if I just did this wrong or something. Like, let's see. Yeah, even here, there's no fucking music. Like, where's the goddamn music? I feel like a lot of it was improved. Uh, like graphics wise, I did really like the designs of the enemies. Um, I feel like some of the levels were fun too, though. Like, what? Before I give my posting, what makes you say that it's a D? Got Doom people here, so I want to hear their opinions. Like, when I think about Doom 64, like, this is one of the levels that came to mind. I feel like even compared to, like, part 1, some of these levels were more satisfying to complete. Worse animations, no music, less enemies, slower gameplay. Hmm. I will say, okay, I kind of agree with that because I was able to crunch these games way faster, or this game way faster than I was with Doom 1 and Doom 2. And so many stupid Switch hunts. See, I don't know. I wouldn't say. I mean, some of it like did get a little tedious, but I wouldn't say it was that bad. Yes, again, tedious, but I feel like that wasn't every single map though. Like, especially when you start getting to the later maps like this. Like, I ended up going back and playing this one off stream. So like kind of not as valid here. Like, I feel like the color diversity of it made these maps pretty well. I like that they at least tried making it like different. And then I think one of my favorite things too was I like the fact that they actually had levels connecting to Doom, like the 2016 game. Some of the enemies do look a little whack, but I wouldn't say like my take is as hard as like you guys on it because a lot of that came to mind when it came to playing Doom Eternal was Doom 64. I mean, not Eternal. Uh, Doom the Dark Ages was 64. I feel like they took like quite a few elements from this game. And I feel like without this, now I don't want to say without this game, Dark Ages could have been made, but I feel like they definitely used some hints of 64 as inspiration for it. Okay, I can agree with that. It's not a trash game, just way more boring than the rest of the games. I can understand that. And I do feel like the later levels were better. Like, I can understand what you mean cuz like I remember more of the later levels, like connecting to Doom. Wait, was it Lost Levels that was considered? Yes. So I do like some of these maps. The only thing that again did it bad for me was the boss. It felt kind of cool to have like everything thrown, but when shit like this happens and they were attacking each other, it kind of just felt like kind of nothing, to be honest. You didn't even play the Lost Levels. Gameplay felt like chewing rusty nails. So with that, you know what? Maybe this might be qualified for C tier. Because after I tried hyping it up, I felt like I had way more fond memories of Doom 64. Well, when I actually thought watching it again would help me, I feel like it only made me think of it lesser. Even if there was a D tier, like let's say like this is the D tier here, Doom 3, I feel like Doom 64 was still better than Doom 3. Again, that's from my vague memory though, going back like years and years ago. I think I'm comfortable putting this at C. I might change my mind and put it at like low B. Like if there's other games that join the B tier, I feel like God damn it. I feel like it would be on the very end of B tier at best. And I would say, like, when I played some of the Doom games off stream, I think one thing I want to account for is replayability. And yeah, Doom 64 was not replayable. I feel like I felt satisfied just getting that one and done. The only replayability I did, which technically is not replaying it, were some of the level or the secret levels that I didn't complete, which I believe were like three or four. I'll agree the maps aren't as good as Ultimate Doom. Can we add a tier? I'd rather punch myself in the face just for Doom 2. Damn, there's a lot of animosity for Doom 2. I think we'll hop to Doom 2 then. We'll go backwards on the original games. So let's go with the first level. This is just a critique. I fucking hate the goddamn invulnerability powers. I want to see someone like crush these levels. Guess we can do speed run, see if that helps. I just want to get like a brief overview of like what we saw in these games. See, when I see the levels in this game, it does make me appreciate Doom 64. I know they had better graphics to work with, but I do like, again, the game being more vibrant. Oh, is he a good speedrunner? Zero Master? Hell yeah. I'm glad I accidentally put him on then. The only non-replayable Dooms are 64, 3, and kind of Dark Ages. To be fair, I haven't replayed Dark Ages yet. I was waiting until the DLC comes out. I really feel like Dark Ages doesn't drag that much. I just feel like because the same enjoyment that I got from playing Doom 1 and Doom 2 were the same enjoyment I got playing Dark Ages. I just feel like it's because it's not as like crazy like 360 movement uh as Eternal. It does like kind of kill some of the vibe of it. But I feel like there are some moments, like even from my gameplay, where like it just feels like you're doing combo after combo, and all you're doing is just running like a fucking tank. See here. Oh, this one was a fun level, I remember. Actually tedious at times, but I remember feeling accomplished at this level. This one was a level I did not like. This one was fucking. I think this is the one. No, I'm thinking of a different level. There's like ones where like you're jumping from pillars and you have to like beat the enemy and then open the next pillar. This is not it. But fucking difficult game. 2016 is the most replayable in your opinion? I don't know about that. Again, a lot of my opinion has changed on Doom Eternal. I feel like Doom Eternal would be the one that's most replayable for me. Like after I got done with the marathon, again, it was only a few hours at a time, but I think the one I replayed the most was definitely Eternal. As much as I was definitely not for it at some parts of my gameplay, but that was because like the difficulty sometimes was like a little fucking tedious. So I haven't brought yourself to finish Eternal. You should, dude. I feel like when you get to the ancient gods, it's more fulfilling. Unless you get like to the fucking last boss. Alright, we're gonna watch this final fucking boss here. What the fuck? He took it down so easy. Alright. Fuck ass boss. That boss actually was not fun. Um I had way much I had way more fun against the Arachnotron, even though it was a little anticlimactic. I feel like I remember more of Doom 1 than I do of Doom 2. And I feel like I had more hype for Doom 2 because of like how much everyone pedestals that game. Or at least the last time I heard about it. And it's kind of hard to compare because like it almost just feels like an extension of Doom 1. I wouldn't say it really diverses that much more. So I think I feel comfortable putting that B tier. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. Hold on. Let me second guess that. This hot take, I feel like I had a more mm, I think this might be a C. Because that makes me feel comfortable putting Doom. I want to rate this one and then get into the explanation. Because how many games do we have left? I think that makes me feel comfortable putting Doom high B tier. Oh wait, no, not Doom, not Doom. Oh wait, no, yeah, Doom. High B tier. I feel like again, maybe I just like the newer games better. There's gonna be a high bias there. Probably not the best take. You'll never be found. See, some old games are my style too, but it really depends. I feel like a lot of my old games that I enjoy tend to be like old 3D games. Like if you get me on like an old PS2 game or an old like GameCube game, that's my shit. But when it comes to like the older like 80s style or like 90s style pixel games, I feel like that's where a lot of my bias is, where I would not prefer those games. You have to watch a full playthrough right now to see your wrongdoings. Okay. We did do it with Doom 2, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna put on a speed run. Again, I don't mean to like have a cop out. I just feel like when I say these tiers, none of these games are bad. Did they frustrate me? And were there times where I'm like, yeah, I hate this game? 100%. But that's any game you try and play on like high difficulty, right? Um, these games were all fun. I would have not played them if I didn't have fun. But I just feel like I feel comfortable saying I had way better time with all these four titles than I did with Doom 1. I enjoy the classic feel of it. I feel like for when I think about the time that this game came out, there was definitely enough like level diversity, especially when you start going from like military bases to like hell bases. Let's see. Skip a little bit. 4 hours into the Dark Lord, you would beg to differ that Eternal was better. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. And it's why I made the DLCs different. Doom 1 was frustrating, but it wasn't nearly as frustrating as Doom 2. Like, even though like there was a crash out, kind of a crash out. No, it was a crash out. It was a crash out. There was a crash out after Doom 2 was completed. And I feel like I was so pissed because there was little reward. Make a ranking for each boss. Ooh, let's do that. We can do it. We can do a part 2. I was fuming. I was pretty pissed. And a lot of that for the Doom Eternal boss, as well as the Doom 2 boss, was because of the fact that there was like, in my opinion, a lot of buildup for so fucking little reward. Oh yeah, I was so mad during Doom Eternal. But again though, like a lot of my opinions changed on Doom Eternal. And I think that was because I played Dark Ages. I remember playing Dark Ages and I was like, oh, off the bat, this is going to be my favorite Doom game. But once I started getting towards, like, I'd argue, like, past 40%, it felt like kind of a gimmicky grab. But it pleased, like, a lot of my, like, nerdy shit. Like, mechs, cool weapons, fucking medieval type of stuff, and then all combining it into this like weird hell futuristic setting. It felt really nice to my eyes. But when I think about like gameplay, we'll eventually get to that. TDA is just a heck yeah simulator, but and that's actually such a good way to put it, but I feel like that's what makes it so good though. I'm glad I got your guys' opinions, because when I think about it, I'm not changing it just based on your guys' opinions, but it is making me consider where I originally thought I was going to put some of these games. Yeah, off the bat, I can guarantee that, yeah, a lot of these levels, from what I'm seeing, are way more memorable than Doom 2. And also we are going to change some of these tiers. Like say if I get done with the tier list, if I don't agree by the end that everything is there, I can change it. So what we're seeing for now, don't think it's definitive just yet. I would like a little sound. I think it's gonna kill me if we don't have sound. It wasn't as crazy because I wasn't playing on Nightmare. No, there might have been some wrongdoings. I think I did get eager putting it at B tier. We're gonna keep it there for now though. I want to get through the other games before I decide. I am confident as of now though that compared to everything I have on the list so far, it is the best game out of everything here. I would argue that I had way of a better time playing Doom 1 than I did Doom 2016. Know the map so well that I can do some parts blindfolded? Fuck yeah, dude. I kind of appreciate like the slow transition from like military base up until like corrupted like hell base. Yeah, this game just did like so much right. Like again, when I see this game, A hot take? Oh, holy fucking glitch. I feel like... Like, I'm also getting, like, fond memories of, like, Doom the Dark Ages already. Oh, this was a fun one. When we originally got to the first Cyber Demon. It's just the skull shits, dude. The fucking skull shits give me so much PTSD. Alright, we're gonna get to the final boss here. I almost thought that was the game for a second. It wasn't nearly as chaotic as this, but I still did it on ultra violence. Yeah, I feel like I did it right. I'm gonna keep it at B tier for now. I feel like both at the time I thought with the Spider Demon and Cyber Demon that it was a little anticlimactic, but I feel like I was just basing the game off being old. Again, I don't think I have that like and again, it's not even nostalgia because I know like you guys are on the younger side, but I would say like I don't have that like keen eye for like these pixel games, kind of like you do. Hold on, sorry, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. Okay. All right, we're back, chat. We're back. Doom B tier. We're gonna keep it for now. There is a chance it'll probably go up. Yeah, I feel like this is where things might get a little dicey. Guess we'll just start with Doom Eternal, right?
Not really the way this is supposed to work.
Me restarting after I fucking die like 500 times. I wouldn't say. Oh, let me catch up on comments. I wouldn't say keen eye for pixel games. I just really enjoy how fun it is to speedrun. I haven't found a game quite like it. Okay. Well, I guess like when I'm looking at Doom, then that's where I say like my mind's at. Like it doesn't hit the neurons in my brain that are like, ooh, cool retro game. It just felt like, okay, yeah, I'm playing something fun and I'm playing something kind of random. Yeah, Doom 1 is a particularly niche though. Again though, just because I'm saying like it's not my type of retro game I would like be super excited for, again, it doesn't mean I didn't have fun. It was still really good. I'd personally put Eternal and C tier at most. What the fuck? Ooh, that's a hot take, buddy. All right, hold on. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. I think one of my downsides when playing this game, and like Ark pointed it out, is that I was trying to play it too much like 2016. And I feel like that did drag down my gameplay a bit, but when I went back to play this game and I actually had the mindset of how I played kind of the middle of the game as well as the DLCs, where I'm trying to be very weapon variety and trying to... What the fuck? Man, I don't know if a speedrun for this was good. Oh, I forgot. There was like all those momentum boosting.
Kill the flower.
Oh, come on, buddy. Jesus Christ. Okay, the other speedruns felt nice. Like, this feels like I can't get enough gameplay to, like, critique on.
It's not optimal at all.
And he's saying that's not optimal. That's fucking insane. Eternal is hot garbage, in my opinion. They removed what made Doom Doom. Not really. I would say they only improved upon it. Because I feel like in the classic Doom, you're not as incentivized to switch weapons. The speedruns are even crazier for 2016. All right, maybe we'll have to watch one. I feel like they incentivize weapon switching a lot better. And even to the point where switching your weapon mods became vital. I feel like that's one of the things about Doom, the Dark Ages, that I feel like they went down on. I feel like the weapon variety was there, but I feel like you could find the cool weapon mod and just stick with that for the rest of the game. Whereas like the base machine gun, I was switching between the two mods most of the time, and eventually even preferred the scope rather than the missiles. Which was a contrast from 2016. I feel like let's keep it playing. I feel like a lot of the that's a good point here. A lot of the weapon, I mean the levels with the punching Little Machines timing. Okay, you know what? I can't fucking watch this guy. I'm sorry. I need like actual fucking like gameplay. To like pro gameplay. And I feel like this is a good level to even show we got fucking Ultra Gore Nest. Again, this is, I mean, it's kind of different because this is a master level. But I feel like it only improved upon base Doom game because you can play each floor, or before you unlock each section, you play it kind of like how classic Doom is. But then when you start getting to open areas like this, it completely switches to a more 360 range of motion, as you see here with like the chain shot and everything. If I want to be able to stick with the one I want, like Doom 1, then I understand why 2016 and why Doom 1 would be your preference. But I feel like Doom Eternal is good because of the fact that it has varying levels of switching between how you play the game. Like, I feel like there's sections that are purely dedicated to playing it like the original Doom games, and then you start getting to the later levels, pretty much like more Super Gore Nest, where you eventually switch to full stop, like, hey, we're gonna play like 360 Doom. See, like, that is a good example. When it took me so long, and I was also being so stubborn because of how mad the difficulty was getting to me. But when you get to moments like this, boom, 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 like, it just feels so satisfying. And being able to like master those movements, even master that while also mastering your movements, I feel like, I don't know, it's just something you can't get from the other games. I have to combine 15 different abilities just to finish the level without dying instantly. It isn't Doom for me. Well, okay, that's the thing. It's kind of hard to compare with this one because this guy is doing that in Ultra Nightmare. And he's doing it in the master level. So like, not like, if you're playing this like on medium to like hardest difficulty, there is like a lot less. Like, you get more breathing room than this. I'm just trying to get pro gameplay so I can see like everything that he's using. But it's not the abilities that make you finish or like finish the game. I mean, finish like an enemy. I feel like it only helps you more. Like, there's this where you can shield, you can play a distant shooter, or you can get up in their face. Like, I feel like there's varying ways to play, just like how you saw here. Okay, let's go back on that. He played a little bit distance, played the smart game with that. I don't know what that one's called, but let's just call him a Cyber Demon, even though it's not. With that Cyber Demon, he played it safe by using the freeze grenade, which you can unlock multiple abilities for and improve as the game goes by. And then it gets you more benefits, you can get more pickups, you can play against that enemy differently. Then you jump into this guy, where you're more rushed down, you can shield right in front of him, and use different abilities to take this guy down. This is what I mean, like, it's granted that was a short part, but he's playing this like this part like classic Doom when he was just playing 360 new Doom a bit ago. Yeah, watching this just makes me appreciate it a lot more. I already had like an appreciation after like playing Dark Ages. I think a lot of like my initial rating was just because like I was just getting so mad at the fucking difficulty. Like, there's times where I understand people like ultra difficulty type shit, but I feel like sometimes games have to fucking tone it down a notch. But that's also why there's different levels, right? Like, I forced myself to go through it. Now, granted, he is switching only between a few. But here, that's 4 weapons within the span of a few seconds. Like, as batshit crazy as this may seem to someone originally, I feel like that's what makes this, like, super fun. I feel like it's not just me trying to cheese the game, camp out and stuff. Like, no, you have to adapt with the enemies that are there. So by the time he sees an enemy like that, he already knows what 2 weapons he's switching from. And I feel like that adaptability and the game rewarding you for focusing on those weapon upgrades, again, just makes this all the better. We're gonna do a little bit. Do a little bit more, and then we're gonna give the rating. I mean, this guy's playing completely different. He's playing long range, and he could be doing a different rush down technique for that enemy. I'm wondering what the range on the shotgun is, because he's like long ranging with the both shotguns. Come on, like, you can't tell me that, like, that's not sick as fuck. He just used a fodder enemy to swing across the whole map. And that's the thing, like, there's so many different ways to play this game. Like, if you're someone that needs breathing room, you can adapt by doing things like this. Going across the whole map, using the fucking chain shot to swing around. It's yourself a few seconds, even though it's only a few seconds, it's enough time for him to gather himself and take down some of the kind of mini big enemies, so that he can still single out that guy right there. It made because of him thinking about how he's going to take down these certain enemies better. I feel like it lets him play exactly how he wants to play. I wouldn't say the maps are necessarily bad. I would say that the level design is lacking, though. Like, I feel like there could have been, like, a lot of this just feels like fucking Cityscape, unless, like, you're playing in the what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? I didn't realize we were done with the fucking I didn't realize we were done with the Doom imp enemies. So we just got to fucking Pikmin. I feel like the only diversity you really get with these games is like hell-infested city, which I get, right? Like, Earth is fucked. Or you get the, like, Templar Knight areas that, like, people like the Doom guy are from. I feel like they could have been a lot better with that, and I feel like Ancient Gods 1 and 2 both have better level designs. Like, the look of the actual level. But as far as the structure of the map itself, I feel like Doom 1 is still very good in that regard. But here we got a Cyber Demon. all of, like, I just like how efficient this guy is being. He switched from a couple different weapons, not just because he wanted to, but he knew that would be the most efficient way of zoning in and out of a cyber demon while also getting the maximum damage for this character. All right, I think it's safe to say, as much as I would have heavily disagreed with this take when I originally beat the game, I think this game is literally Doom. This is what makes Doom. It's kind of hard to, I feel bad because, you know, like, obviously Doom 1 or Doom Eternal wouldn't be here without Doom 1, but I feel like they took everything that was good about Doom 1 and made it all the better. Cause like cause here's the thing too, like when I think about Doom 1, like, and you watch like someone do a speed run or pro gameplay, they're schmooing through the map. This, like, when I see a speed run from like Doom 1, it reminds me a lot of Doom Eternal. It feels like every modern shooter. I would disagree. Again, like, the weapon variety is there, the weapon upgrades are there. I feel like there are some weapons that are better than others, clearly, but I feel like, just like you saw there, that guy was using completely different weapons to take down certain enemies than even the Super Gore Nest video. And I feel like having to be that adaptable, not just with the map that you're on, but again, each enemy type. Like, this guy was switching between 4 to 5 weapons based on the enemy he was confronting. And I feel like when you have such a good map structure on top of that, it just makes it all the better. Again, the levels could be more visually appealing though. That's why I feel like it lacks. Again, I'll get to that with Ancient Gods 1 and 2. So we'll get to Ancient Gods 1. Why is it not working? Oh my god. Already off the bat, this was easily fucking visually appealing. I don't know where the level designers were thinking, or if it was just with how long of a game Doom base or Doom Eternal base was. Maybe they were like, hey, if we want to crunch this game out, all the levels gotta look the same. But for Ancient Gods, they fucking threw that idea out the window. So it already felt like almost haunting to just fucking jump into this. I feel like a faster gameplay that we can watch. I guess not. There were some parts originally playing where it got a little tedious during this map. I think my only issue with the DLCs was that it felt like each level was ridiculously fucking long. So there were times where when I was dying, it put me back farther than I wanted it to, and that really annoyed the shit out of me. But like, also kind of classic Doom did that. Yeah, that's so funny you said that, because literally that's what I'm saying. Literally, classic Doom did do that as well. Arguably worse because of the fact that if you're not the person that's like me, you don't get to save. You know, you got to restart the whole fucking map. And there were times where I did do that. But this, oh my god. When they completely, this is also kind of what was rewarding about the map being too long. Because then you get to this fucking part, the map literally destroying on itself. And it's no longer the same map. Again, I don't know what was up with the original level, original level designs, but the map structure, the level design itself, and then you got your same classic Doom Eternal gameplay. Oh, wow. Fucking chef's kiss, dude. Chef's fucking kiss. I'll say tag 1 has the hardest Ultra Nightmare run. Right? Okay, so, you know, we're gonna kind of move along here. This map, again, so much PTSD coming my way. But when I look back at it, and when I replay it, like, trying to enjoy it on my own, like, it's just still so good. And, like, this one I liked because even though it was incredibly long, beating each portion of it was actually really satisfying. Right, that's exactly the short sentence I can put for that. Obviously, I'm going to keep rambling. But Doom Ancient Gods 1 fixes everything about Doom Eternal base gameplay. Not that it even, like, the base Doom Eternal gameplay was that bad to begin with. The only thing I genuinely think is dumb is this guy. Might be a hot take, should have never been added to the game. I feel like the game was perfect enough as it is, and they were like, hey, how can we make this even more stupid hard? I feel like it was never, even with some of the other enemies, when they get boosted up, I feel like it wasn't, I didn't feel accomplished at all taking down these guys. I feel like the enemy variety did more than a boosted enemy. Does that make sense? Again, the enemy variety and who they paired up strong enemies with was better than a buffed up enemy. I had a lot of satisfaction playing the portions of this specific map when the spirits weren't there. Again, though, like, this wouldn't even knock it off, right? Like, if, let's say Ancient Gods 1 was a 10 out of 10, it'd be like a 9.9 because of the fucking spirits. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. That's one of my huge gripes with the DLC. Like, this looks cool, right? He's doing it before he can even get any of them. But as someone who's like an average player like me, I'm trying to give that perspective as much as possible. Yeah, this is just so cool. One of my favorite levels out of the Doom games in general is this one, by the way. Like, arguably one of the more beautiful moments you get out of this game, but ruined, like, and I say ruined in a good way. Like, ruined with all this fucking cyber demon technology. And like, again, it only keeps improving what Doom Eternal was. Now, on top of remembering each of the memories, or I mean, each of the enemies, you have to remember the map design. And this one, again, although the difficulty pissed me off, this one was cool because it depended on which pillars were down. So more enemies would spawn, kind of like a mob rush, but you also had to remember which pillars came down so you could be very resource dependent at the right times. On top of, again, remembering which weapons you're going to switch to for each enemy. But what ruined this part was the spirit. There was a spirit that infected a few enemies. Fucking terrible design enemy. That's something I will not like. I don't give a fuck if you got the Doom Pro yelling at me saying it's a good enemy. I will always die on that hill that the spirit should have never been in this game. Yeah, we did kind of skip to that portion, but like there were a few phases of this part of the map which made it very good. And what else? This boss sucked. Not really that fun. Trying to think though, where was wait, when do you fight wait, is the Maker in Base Eternal? Am I being dumb? Oh wait, no, not Maker. Oh, there's something I'm not remembering. Yeah, I asked for Doom Eternal bosses and it gives me like fucking every boss in every game.
I thought you would appreciate the century I chose. The great Agaddon.
This one. Oh, so it was. The Con Maker was Base Eternal. Okay. Yes, she is. Okay. This is where, again, my gripes come with the DLC. I'm going to spoil it for DLC 2 as well. The bosses for the DLCs were just not great. I feel like when you go from the Con Maker to the Icon of Sin, perfect. Surprisingly, the Icon of Sin, even though it was one of the hardest parts of the game, there was never there were times where I was mad, but there was never a time where I was dissatisfied with the game like I did have playing like some of the extra parts or secret levels of Doom Eternal. But where I did feel dissatisfied was a lot of these bosses. It felt like it was trying to be a weird like bullet hell type of game when it just had peak level designs prior to this. Yeah, I don't know. Like everything I'm seeing about this boss arena is just not visually appealing whatsoever. Like, I almost would have been fine if they put this boss at like Super Gore Nest or some shit. But it just felt very boring to be on. And again, when you find Samuel, it just feels super satisfying. And I really don't know what more else I can say. I'll chalk it up again to like an unnecessary bullet hell moment when there was, again, just peak level design. Like, literally prior to this. Okay. So this one's gonna be kind of hard. I want to say it's better than Doom Eternal. But the boss really fucking drags it down for me. Now, I know this is my rating, but how would you guys put that? Would, like, if a boss is bad for you, even though you enjoyed it a bit more than Eternal, would you say it still does better than Eternal? This one, like, does it deserve that spot? Again, I know it's my rating. Does it deserve that spot, though? I want to say it does. The bosses in Eternal base game were so much better, though. And when I've looked on Reddit, I see that's kind of a hot take. But Icon of Sin was on it, like, within the past few years, like, Icon of Sin is like one of my favorite bosses. You wouldn't say better? Why is that? If you can give me a compelling argument, I'd reconsider. But again, all the weapon variety I feel like is improved. You also get the extra perks too in this one. On top of the same level variety with both or all three maps having a switch up moment that I feel like makes the game really good. Ooh, you know, you know what is also a downside of Ancient Gods though? No sword. It's not like a make or break, but I feel like having that, I feel like they should have never took that out of the base DLC. The bosses really bring it down. I know. That's the thing I'm really tight on. But again, level design, level structure is so much better than Doom Eternal base game. I think I'm comfortable keeping it there. The box boss fight is so bad. The trial of something. Trial of Malagok? Oh, this one was incredibly stupid. But this is base game though, no? Oh no, it is. Oh no, it is DLC. God, dementia maxing right now. That does kind of suck. Because Doom Eternal goes 2 for 2 at having great end bosses, but Ancient Gods Part 1 goes 2 for 2 at having sucky ones. Nah, I'm gonna be stubborn on this one. Oh, wait, the one I watched is a mod? What? Oh, it was? Honestly, Malagog, though, is better than this one. Maybe I'm just not good at doing tier lists, but I feel like this tier list has gone longer than it should have. I feel like Ancient Gods, the level design, and God, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but like everything that was good about the weapon switching in Doom Eternal just felt all the better in this DLC. All right, fucking. Eventually had to talk about it, but. What the fuck? How did you get that high? I did like that the DLC too tried a few new things with adding the Stone Imp and the I'm forgetting what this guy is called. But the new kind of mini cyber demon. I like, even though it took me a while to appreciate it, I feel like I like that there was more gimmick to each fight. Because you already have, again, learning what weapons you want to use for each and every single enemy type is already hard as it is, excuse me. When the level is forcing you to drop that because you have to take a certain enemy out, I feel like only increases the challenge a bit more. Again, very satisfying though. Because the game is confident in you, knowing like, hey, you already made it to past the first game and DLC. I feel like the game is like, all right, let's see what you can do now when we physically make your situation change. I don't really remember much of the music, which is why I'm not putting that as a factor for each of the games, which I know I should be, because the Doom, literally one of Doom's biggest thing is the music. But I don't want to go back and like listen to the music. I also don't know if only me playing the music will be like copyright or some shit. Alright, that was a good gloss over the first level there. I remember not liking this portion of the map. And then there was like a secret level that you could do. Yeah, this was it. Then you get to fucking Doom Avengers Endgame over here.
By Hell's law, if the Dark Lord is defeated,
This part was really cool. It felt cool being able to advance on like hell itself. I remembered portions of this section feeling like it was super dragged out. I did feel like the new fodder enemies were dumb. I would have been just as fine if they didn't have like hell stormtroopers. They were just glorified versions of like your Gatling gun guy or your regular shotgun guy. Yeah, I don't know. This one doesn't feel as exciting to me. Oh god, here we go. Then you get to the fucking main boss. You know what? No, I got my take. We can get to that when we do the main bosses. Ancient Gods, A. And you know what? Even crazier? Doom 1 was better than Ancient Gods 2. Easily. I feel like Ancient God retracted on the level design that we were talking about. I feel like the boss is like the way I'm thinking about it with this one is that the boss, even though the last DLC went 2 for 2 for bad bosses, this is the boss that we're ending the game with. This is the one that they hyped up that like, hey, this is like the end all be all. Like when you get to Dark Ages, like you're not going to see as much crazy shit as you do with the fucking Dark Lord. And that to me just felt like such a dissatisfying finish. It felt like they were trying to like do a mock Souls fight, but with like bullet hell that Doom is. And it just didn't mesh properly. The gimmick got old after the first few tries. Let's see what else. Actually, I actually do kind of want to go down. Yeah, it just you know, I'm gonna lie, I'm getting a little salty watching this. I think I'm trying not to move it down based on anger. If I have to be realistic though, like playing this DLC still was better than some of the other games. I just feel like when you get to this part and this is supposed to be the main finish, I totally forgot about the hammer as well. I feel like the hammer doesn't do much for me. Yeah, it's just so dissatisfying. Like, they could have done so much more. Like, if he's, like, the antithesis of the Doom guy, like, probably an oddball thing, but, like, Ocarina of Time, you fight Shadow Link, and that's not the end boss, but, like, he's like, hey, this is, like, what Evil Link would do. Like, he's gonna use some of the same abilities. He's gonna use, kind of more advantageous tactics compared to your character, And I feel like they missed the mark on that. They're like, okay, he gets a bigger grenade. Okay, he gets a cool shield and he can do a ram attack. I feel like they should have made him it almost like kind of like a Quake fight. That's how they should have done it. It should have been like you're fighting someone on Quake. This guy should be equal to you, not using this crazy ass armor because he's the devil. Like they could have made it like a mini Super Gornest fight where both of you are bouncing around and you have to use the map against him rather than wait for this guy to turn green and then you shoot him. Yeah, I remember doing a lot of that too. Like it was just like, and then you run around the map just like this guy is. You restock on abilities and your health and all that. Yeah, just not a great fight. Yeah, like I said, Doom, like I said, some of these were bound to move up. I think I'm comfortable with everything else though.
Demons in the north wing. Valen with the Slayer guarding.
All right, this can change. All right, that's it for now. That's it for now.
The barracks will take the airships.
So getting into that, again, when I was playing Dark Ages, it gave me all the good memories of Doom 1 and what the game should have been. If, you know, obviously they could make, if they, let's say if like Doom 1 was the only Doom game and then they're like, hey, we're going to start off with Dark Ages, I would have felt satisfied knowing like, okay, what's the word for it? They took the flat down gameplay of Doom 1 and enhanced it so that it can still feel like that game as much as possible. S tier is a little high for me, but it's still an A or B. I mean, even let's say if we did knock it down, it would still be here. I still enjoyed it way better than Doom 1. So I guess we can hop between, like, if there was a middle ground here, or if I made its own tier, it would be between Doom Eternal and Doom 1. I don't know, dude. There's just so much lackluster shit about Doom Ancient Gods Part 2 that I can't, like, I could not forgive myself if I put Dark Ages. It's infinitely better, in my opinion. Again, they went with a whole different theme compared to Ancient Gods Part 2. But I feel like it worked out all the better to show that, again, they can do unique level design. The weapon switching, I will say, is still better in Ancient Gods Part 2. But I like the fact that, like, all the weapons that you got in Dark Ages were a complete switch up. So it felt like no mechanics between like Doom the Dark Ages and Ancient Gods would be the same. And I feel like that's a good thing, because of how diverse these weapons are. But when I think, like, even though this is a heck yeah simulator, like one of the viewers put earlier, like, I feel like this game does what Doom is supposed to do. You're cutting corners, your boots on the ground. All it is about gaining momentum and being charging forward. It did, you know, obviously I did miss being able to literally fly around the map at times with Doom Eternal. See, this shit is so cool to me. Like, it's one of the things that I kept saying about Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages, was how cinematic it felt. I feel like that's also why it's so much better too. I feel like you have the same, like, hey, what weapons do I need to take out this enemy, while also feeling accomplished every time you do a fight. And even though I played this in, you know, more recent memory, I feel like each of the fights are more memorable, in my opinion, than even, like, most of Doom Eternal. This guy's gonna be like on super speed here, but yeah, and I feel like the shield is such a great addition to the game, because like one of the things with Doom is that like you had to find the certain corners to run around, or you had to pretty much, or jumping to Doom Eternal, you had to like pretty much fly around and gather yourself. Whereas like there's nothing but constant pressure in Doom the Dark Ages, and that's what the shield is for. It keeps you in all the intensity that is Doom 1, while also giving you the room to adapt like Doom Eternal. And I like that intensity a bit more sometimes than Doom Eternal. Right, and you know, that's the thing. Like, I honestly, just like you said, I honestly myself can enjoy every Doom for a different reason as well. But like, dude, like sequences like that, like, come on. Again, all bad shit. But it feels like what you're supposed to be doing in the original Doom 1, where you're running side to side from enemy to enemy. And trying to use like whatever weapon is versatile for the enemy type you're on. I also like this game a lot for what it did, like story-wise, the way that I like the new God of War games, going from what it was known for, you know, obviously like the military hell, heck yeah shit, to, okay, now we're at Cthulhu type stuff. We're at like, oh my god, what's the word? There's like literally a specific word for it. I'm forgetting. Ah. It's like what Cthulhu is literally from. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna piss me off. Oh my god. What? Lovecraft. That's what it is. Lovecraftian lore that it dips into. And I feel like for as weird as it is, I feel like it did fit in the end. But you know what I'm gonna do though? Hold on. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Wait, no, no, what am I doing? We're gonna add S back. Actually, I don't know. No, no, never mind. I regret it. Sorry. I regret it. Never mind. I don't know why I did that. I keep like hopping back and forth. No, I feel like I can say that this game does make Doom. In my opinion, every game you play is different, but you still feel like Doom guy. Yes. And as strong as an opinion this may be, I feel like, again, if they were to be like, hey, none of the other Doom games ever existed, the only games that exist are Doom 1 and Doom the Dark Ages, I feel like this would be a great successor. And where I say, like, let's say if it were only Doom 1, Doom Eternal, and this game, I feel like it make I feel like this game does well at having the reward and also punishment of not learning and being adaptable the way that you have to be with Eternal. But again, while also running literally from side to side, enemy to enemy, like the base game. I think I'm comfortable with where it's at. Fuck, do they not have it like all combined? It. I think that's gonna close off this one though. Thought I was gonna change my mind with Doom the Dark Ages, but I feel like there was anything I told people to play, it would be these three games, followed by this as an honorable mention. Because yeah, I wouldn't like A tier is like I feel like the lowest Ancient Gods 1 can get, because I still enjoyed it way better than I did Doom 2016. I feel like Doom 2016 is the perfect middle ground for like what makes a Doom game that I'm not a big fan of, and what makes a Doom game that I am. Yeah, I think we did quick ratings for each of them. Probably 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. On a bad day, like 8.5, but probably 9. This one would get an 8, 7.5, solid 6 for this one. And then probably 6 across the board for each of them as well. And then fucking 0 out of 10. Doom 3. This is almost your list. What was the difference that we had? think that's a good way to put it though. I think I'm proud of that one. Okay, the bosses I remember for the most part. So I feel like we can kind of rush through this one. We are going to skip the Doom 3 bosses. Get rid of them. No, I can't. Barons of Hell, nothing too crazy. They're just enhanced fodder enemies or tougher fodder enemies. Not going to go into detail about that one. Cyber Demon was an oh shit moment, and I feel like does deserve to be at, like, when I'm thinking back to originally when I played that boss, I remember having really fun time with that one. Spider Mastermind, although fun, not as fun as Cyber Demon, nor not as satisfying. Icon of Sin, fucking worse than the Baron of Hell. Just a dog shit fucking boss fight in general. Stupid crash out that it made me have. Super dissatisfying for actually liking all of Doom 2 only to get to that piece of shit type of boss. That's actually like the definitive, like when people think of Icon of Sin, it's so crazy to me. Because like all throughout like life pretty much of watching YouTube videos, like, hey, if there's a fucking boss you're gonna remember from Doom, it's this guy. This is the boss guy. This is the boss, Doom people. When you play Doom, this is it. Yeah, nah, this Icon of Sin can eat a whole bunch of ass. What is that one? Mother Demon? Is that Doom 3? Oh no. Oh, also ass. But better than those two, or the Baron of Hell and Icon of Sin. Now we get to Doom 3, which we're going to be skipping. I think Cyber Demon was good. I feel like it gave me the same nostalgia and oh shit moment as this Cyber Demon, but it had you learning a lot compared to this one. And it felt, I don't know, even though like you could respawn and everything, it felt like more was on the line fighting this Cyber Demon. And I feel like this one's a weird gimmick fight, but could be worse. See. Yeah, just a weird gimmick fight. It's not anticlimactic though, the way that Spider Demon is. I think You know, normally I'm kind of against the like, hey, make tougher enemy and more of them right away in video games. I feel like this was one of the only boss fights where that did work out because of the fact that like, even though the gimmick is as simple as aiming for the back, it makes even moments like that tough because they're clearly not going to open the back and they're going to have, you know, no pun intended, but they're back-to-back type of fighting. And like even seeing him switch between weapons right now, I feel like is what made this game, or I mean this boss fight, pretty satisfying. It's like, hey, you learned the boss fight, but now here's the real one. So phase 1 was learning it, part 2 was actually adapting to it. So yeah, I'm comfortable where it's at right now. Fighter Mastermind is, I'd say, there. And then Hellguard. Yep. That's perfect. Perfect for me. Fighter Mastermind. How did I feel about that one? This one was kind of a weird gimmick fight too, wasn't it? Yeah, I feel like this boss fight didn't really have much going on for it either. It was more enjoyable than the other one. But kind of similar to the Ancient Gods bosses, just unnecessary bullet hells that are not super satisfying. That one, comfortable putting it here as well. Like, I don't know, maybe B is too high. Maybe I have some of these guys already too high. I feel like that's better. Yeah, that's a lot more, or that's a lot better. I'd say as far as B tier, Hellguard is probably the worst you get. Now I'm gonna skip a few and put Trial of Malagog here. Even though it was a dumb gimmick fight, at least it had more on the line than all these other bosses combined. I feel like the Trial of Malagog is like the best you can kind of get out of a C tier. No, you're good. It's okay. Don't worry about the feedback. Doom Hunter, when you initially fight it. See, knowing that it becomes a mini boss later is what makes me not want to give it a high rating. And I'm not talking about the first time that I played this on stream. I'm talking about the first time I played this in general. I remember such a satisfying feeling actually being able to beat this boss. I feel like I have too much to say and I can't type it all. Oh shit, am I going too fast? think I'm comfortable putting it right here. Because it was definitely better than this gimmick fight. But I feel like having to adapt to the map that he's currently in. And not only that, the switching, you know, actually, I think it's better than Cyber Demon. Only because of the different map phases, as well as having to fight all the enemies that surround him. Well, if you want, I can give you a moment to type up like some critiques you may have. Either that, or I can get to the end of the bosses and then you let me know. But I feel like Doom Hunter, with the ones that I'm currently looking at, is probably the best B tier fight you're going to get. I already know which one's going to be S tier for me. Yeah, doing this tier list stuff is so fun. By the way, thank you two for actually like doing this with me. I know I'm like so many more, or so much months behind on this. I need to watch this one again to see how I feel about it. Because this one I remember struggling, and I think I had like a minor crash out on this one. He's playing a lot more differently than me. I was definitely playing more Rushdown. Trying to like bait more of the attacks, and I think that's kind of why I kept dying a lot. Or no, I think it was also because the first phase was a lot easier. Yeah, that fucking shield, that like whip shield he did, fucking pissed me off. Yeah, I did crash out on this one. I'm not surprised. I feel like these phases are still arguably better than the other boss though. Or the Ancient Gods bosses. Alright. Enough. You know, and I think it still stands that Doom Hunter is probably the best B tier boss you're gonna get. Because Gladiator would be right under him. I feel like it's too gimmicky. And even though, again, it's surprising how much I like glaze Doom Hunter because, again, they just become fodder enemies later on. I hear you getting angry remembering this boss. Screw you, man. I'm not gonna say you're wrong though. Barons of Hell are better for a first playthrough, so they should be a tier higher. The OG Mastermind should be lower. The new one should be higher. Hellguard should be lower. OG Cyber Demon should be higher, and Gladiator should be S tier. Dog, I don't know. Gladiator's not that good of a fight. Like, granted, I am bouncing from it, but I feel like Oh no, it just doesn't feel that satisfying to me. I feel like I had more fun playing Doom Hunter. OG Mastermind should be lower. Yeah, and I agree with you. Barons of Hell are fun on the first playthrough, which is why, again, it's just low though, because when I look back on it and I ask myself, how would I feel playing against this boss again? I just know it'd be just upgraded fodder enemies. You know, I am okay putting Mother Demon above these two. All right, I've already kind of gone into these two. Ah, no, I actually, that's such a lie though. I can't say I enjoy these bosses more than these two. These bosses progressively get worse. And I would be lying to say that these two are worse just because I'm salty. It is Doom Eternal though, so it can't be that good. Ooh, hot take, buddy, hot take. Have you ever played any of the Middle Earth games? I don't think so. Honestly, I'm not really second guessing myself a lot here. I feel like what I have so far is pretty good. But it is going to make me move Helgard down. Because again, it's not as good as these two. Even though I really don't like these two. Maker is an easy low A, and Icon of Sin is S tier. Easy fucking listed. I'm gonna let you guys have your opinions on this. I'll be right back. Agree with those. Again, only minor complaints. Would the minor complaints be the ones that you already stated? I think I'm okay putting it. Let's kind of switch it up a bit. I think I'm okay doing that. I feel like there's not a lot of variety. Like, when I say there's a top worst boss you can play, again, I wouldn't say Icons of Sin. I would say probably Mother Demon, and then going down from there. I thought I was set, but no, this is actually the final opinion. I remember, like, funnily enough, I remember a lot of the bosses, and I feel like, yeah, this is enough. I remember the feeling watching the trailer back in the day of Doom 2016, seeing the Cyber Demon come out. I remember experiencing that feeling for myself, having all the same nostalgia, and what a great fucking fight that is. Maker is, like, in my opinion, like, like, if this is Cyber Demon, like, Maker is, like, right there on the cusp of greatness, but Cyber Demon does everything right, and ultimately is not much of a gimmick fight as Maker, in my opinion. New Mastermind is a little low. I don't know if I can budge on that one. I'd argue I'd have way more fun with Child Malagog again or Mother Demon. Because both Spider Masterminds gave me arguably the same anti-chromatic feelings. It's very basic, but not straight up bad. Okay, a bit of a compelling argument. I think that's the best I can do. Is the thing here's the thing, like C tier and D tier, I won't lie, like even confuse me a bit, which I know is not good from the guy making the tier list. Because like these are all anticlimactic or bad, in my opinion. But these two are bad as well. It's just like even though these two are bad, I feel like these almost give me like nothing feelings. Whereas these are just bad bosses at the end of like great games. And again, there was more to do with these bosses than all these other ones. I think the worst I would do is like this. But again, I feel like I'd be lying to myself. Oh god, I'm like fucking it up. I mean, Trial of Malagog isn't even a boss, which is so funny that it's here. Yeah, I feel really comfortable uh keeping the list as it is. I feel like gaming, like in all of Doom, unless Doom the Dark Ages has the craziest fucking bosses, there's never gonna be a Doom boss that matches up to Eternal Icons of Sin, or even games in general. There's not a lot of bosses that come to mind when I think of a good boss the way that Icons of Sin is. Okay, I'm glad S and A. Dude, I'm at 100,000 subscribers. It meant to say 1 million, but who knows? It's practically the same number. I think, hold on, since Crab Hour joined, I do want to share my my other tier list really quick. He's also played those games a bit. Oh my god, did I not save it? Fuck. No way. No way did I not save it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's the Doom games right there. Ah, shit, you need to go to bed? No worries. I was just about to finish up with the Dark Ages bosses. See, Icons of Sin is repetitive, but I do feel like it perfected the repetitiveness. I don't feel like there was ever a stale moment because of how repetitive it is compared to base game Eternal. Are you going to be playing the new Invincible fighting game? I'm not sure yet. You can stay for those, but probably won't chat. Okay. I'll make it quick because the bosses I remember a lot, so it'll be pretty easy. 100,000 viewers? Slow day, I'm sure. I know. I'm making those numbers at least every other day. Right, and then that's gonna be it though. Icons of Sin. There's not a lot of gaming bosses, let alone Doom bosses, that'll ever beat it. Cyber Demon, super nostalgic and great. On Maker, again on the cusp of greatness. Doom Hunter, great introductory boss. Gladiator, fun, but falls into the gimmicky category that Con Maker does, which is why it's kind of in the middle. Cyber Demon, really don't have much to say about it. Just not a bad fight. Davos, Samurai Maker, shit bosses for fucking Doom Eternal DLCs. Hellguard, nothing but a gimmick fight. Does kind of get better when there's two of them. Trial of Malagog is not a boss fight. Fighter Mastermind, both of them. Anticlimatic, Mother Demon. It's literally just a random sprite. Icon of Sin. If Doom players ever come up to me and tell me that Icon of Sin is the boss of all time, I will slap the shit out of you. That is not a threat, that is a promise. And Barons of Hell are not a boss. Simple. When's Ultra Kill? Dude, I completely forgot about that game. It probably won't happen until I play Bolt Gun. Because I don't know if it'll be a marathon, but I do kind of want to have a spree where I play Doom clones. Right, so it sucks because I could have just downloaded all the pictures, but since there's quite a few bosses to download here, I'm just gonna kind of yeah, let's try this maybe. I'm gonna try and keep both of these up on screen so I can kind of compare and contrast. I'm struggling. I would like to have Ultra Kill on that list though. There's like a few Doom clones that I have. All right, all right. Cyber Demon, we won't repeat much. We'll put that at A tier. Doom Hunter, we'll go back on B. On being A. Hammer. Oh, we got more tiers for this one. So we'll actually put these guys bad. We'll put Malagog in awful. Put Elgard at bad. I think Spider Mastermind goes after Trial of Malagog. Dusk is also good. Have you showed me that one? I can't remember if I've ever heard of that one. Can put Icon of Sin back up in S tier. Is this really a boss too? Because it becomes a fodder enemy later on. I'd say it's mediocre when you're playing it the first time. Oh, well, this is like the gold variant, right? Like it's like the 1 or 2 times you fight this guy, so it's kind of like a big deal. I'd say it's about mediocre. Okay, we're getting into mostly Dark Ages category now. Gonna put Gladiator in B again. I have to do a quick gloss over of each of the Dark Ages fights. Oh, this one was fucking sick. He kind of becomes an upgraded fodder enemy too, though, doesn't he? He does. But this one still is really fun and satisfying. Also, such a unique design. Like, he doesn't take any Lovecraftian stuff, or does he a lot of demon shit? It's just like straight up a fucked up machination chimera. So I think I'm comfortable putting that one at good. I would say these two are interchangeable. Like the same feeling I get from destroying the Doom Hunter is the same feeling I get from destroying the Komodo champion. Not really a great fight. Kind of just an unnecessary bullet hell. Again, it's not nearly as bad as the other fights though, so we're gonna hop into this one. Oh god. And I can confidently say mid. This is like almost like a perfect mid. I almost don't want to count the old one because here's the thing I love about this game. Again, Mommy We Love You said it best. This is just a heck yeah simulator. But the problem with the heck yeah simulator is stuff like this, where you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. You could be playing this on the toughest difficulty like I did, and it's not gonna give you the reward like other bosses do. It's just gonna it just does a perfect job at making you feel cool all the time. think it's confident. Confident to say though, it's either going to be last and good or first and okay. It's a New Blood game though, and they published a ton of Doom clones. Dusk, Gloomwood, Ultrakill. Oh fuck yeah, dude! I could do just a fucking New Blood marathon then. I think for the sake of replayability, to be honest, oh man, like when I think replayability and going back to Dark Ages, I feel like this is the move if it wants to work. Because you're gonna get the Doom feeling and gameplay that you're experiencing with Dark Ages. What am I doing? I feel like the Con Priest is more of a boss fight than this one. Like, it's gonna see, I don't know, because it's good the first time you play it. But I'm also trying to think of the perspective that, like, Doom is meant to be replayed. Like, they make these games to be replayed, to be better every time. And I feel like if you're thinking about it from that aspect, it's only going to be okay. Sometimes that enough, but I see it might be lacking in depth. Yeah. I think so. I'm missing one of the bosses. Hold on. Who is that guy? A boss fight? What's going on here?
They're making a final push.
Oh, another fodder enemy. Okay, this one I know. This one's easily right here. Actually, yeah, no. Because one, he becomes a fodder enemy, but he's nowhere near as good a fodder enemy as Komodo champion. I feel like the first time you fight him, you understand that he's only going to be part of other fights. And he kind of does that thing in the Dark Ages DLCs where they add new enemies so that they can force how you play. But I feel like this guy is in the shadow of those DLC enemies, because once you upgrade your weapons, it's really not that big of a deal to fight him. The only challenge I ever had fighting this guy was the initial time playing him, and then when they pair up an Agadon champion with the Komodo champion. But again, I remember more the Komodo champion than I do the other one. So, there's not much going for that guy. I will say the old one was at least a bit better. Damn, dude, Doom Eternal on top. These are going to be dicey. Because these did pretty much what the Ancient Gods DLC did. Where it just felt like it was trying to do something that this game isn't. the only reason why I would say these are better than the Ancient God DLCs, because it actually does feel like a back and forth fight. It is waiting for certain gimmicks, but this boss does a good job at letting you be a rushdown character as well as a spaced out character. I hope I'm making sense with that. Like the way that right now he's currently backed up and reflecting projectiles, but then once Azrak gets in your face, parrying, you're doing the shield bash, you're throwing your shield. Which sucks because this phase of the fight is arguably better than the second one. And it's also super cinematic as hell. So you know what? I feel like this one, I'm comfortable putting it at good. I would say I'm gonna go to bed. I got an hour's sleep last night. Jesus Christ. I feel so bad. I'm like cutting it so close with everyone. I'm just about wrapping up here, so you have a great night. You as well, Ark. I know you might be lurking here, but hope you have a good night. We're just about to wrap up stream here. Man, I talk a lot because I feel like the fucking Doom games, even though that was shorter than these tier list, I talked about those games way longer than I thought I would. Like I started this around like 9:30. Well, kind of around 10ish. Because I was rambling a bit. Alright, now let's get back to the second phase. So this one was cool because it kind of had like the Eldritch gimmicks that you're used to fighting, as well as like, you know, the demon gimmicks. I feel like it was kind of the nothing burger though. Like this almost felt like similar to when you fight a Komodo champion and Agadon champion. Honestly, that's all it feels like. Just an enhanced version of this fight. Where it's hopping between right now is good. And like low on the good tier, high on the okay tier. Making me want to play these. Still only beat 2016. The DLC might be coming out soon, but if you want, I can just let you borrow these games, Crab Hour. Or Adam, sorry. I'm really not going to be touching these games for a bit. I kind of replayed them after my Doom stream. Like, I'm probably good without them for a while. The only thing is you'd have to get the DLCs, but the DLCs go for dirt cheap on PlayStation. Well, when there's sales. But you only have to get the DLC for Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages when that one comes out. Yeah, just let me know if you want to borrow them. I really don't mind. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I feel like I'm comfortable putting it here. Surprisingly, the Con Priest is arguably a better bullet hell and level design. This one's just like, hey, close quarters. You got someone who's like in the back doing ranged attacks, and then you got Azrak literally doing less powerful versions of his moves from phase 1. And I feel like that combination is not well. I almost I think these two are interchangeable. The old one and Azrak and the Witch. Yeah, I think I'm set. Really don't have much arguments. I feel like overall, this would probably be my sentiment. So it sucks. I should have probably just downloaded the pictures, but it's kind of easy to translate from here. I think the only thing is I'm forgetting what they're called. The Vagary champion would probably be, if I were to have it, probably in a middle of C tier. Yeah, probably just about here. Or no. No, I actually put it better. Oh shit. I didn't pay attention to that. So no, actually this would be a better fight than the other ones here. So it would probably be a high C tier if it were in this list. These guys would get pretty much a tier of their own under B. And then everything else is about the same. Just with the exception of Azrath and the Witch. Get a little screenshot so I can post this online. If you guys enjoyed, I do appreciate you so much. Shout out to Tommy, we love you, as well as Arc Seeker, because y'all have been not only day oneers in general, but you've been the day oneers since Doom, so it's nice to be able to kind of do this tier list for the people that actually, pardon the French, but give a fuck about Doom as a whole. Y'all have seen my crash outs through most of these bosses, through most of these games, so again, you guys are very appreciated. You guys are two of the reasons as well why I want to keep, going on streaming. Even as small of a community as we have right now, it is nice to know there is one. But I think the last thing on the agenda for Doom is doing the Doom 1 multiplayer stream, and that's probably it until Dark Ages DLC comes out. Once the Dark Ages DLC come out, there will probably be a pause on Doom for quite a while. But as my friend Adam mentioned, we are going to be well, when I say we as in, the community, the Vladeverse. We're going to be playing the Doom clones, whether they be older or modern. Probably more on the modern end. Games like Ultra Kill that have been on my wish list for quite a while. We'll be playing a Doom clone when I'm able to buy Space Marine 1, because the plan is to do Space Marine 1, 2, and then get to Bolt Gun. And then we'll play Bolt Gun and then transition into the other Doom clones. Yeah, the community is growing. We've been getting more followers and stuff recently. 2 people joined the Discord, but they haven't really been too active, but that's okay, Numbers are numbers. Even if you guys want to be lurking, it's all good. But this is kind of like the end to the first phase of like me streaming again and trying to keep it seriously. So hopefully we can get one final day for the Doom 1 multiplayer, like I said, and then Doom the Dark Ages, and kind of close that chapter for a while. So thank you guys so much. Let's get moving on from my fucking useless rambling here, and have a good night.